Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's a good morning for the Pirate Broadcast. And I just want to share all my gratitude for anyone that shows up and comments, shows up on the replays, connects with me, connects with the guests in the pirate community. And also I want to send out a few warm thoughts and prayers to those that have been impacted by the hurricane. I hope you're all well. I hope you're recovering and safe. And we just want to send out our thoughts and prayers for the families that are impacted. And also what it does is brings up this idea of kindness and consideration, empathy and patience. And today we have Rachel in the room. She's a pirate now, an official pirate. Woo, woo, woo. And we're going to be talking a little bit about all of those emotions and all of those feelings and all of those attitudes around life, liberty, and the pursuit of a little bit of happiness. So, Rachel, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good, Russ. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Very excited to be here.
It's been a while, and it's like, okay, I knew that this day would come because it's just got to happen. I mean, you are a ray of sunshine in a dark night. So it's like, we got to have Rachel in the room and share some of her gifts. And it's like, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. And we've known each other for a long time.
It has been a while. It has been about going back and forth on LinkedIn here. And it's like I said, if we were closer, we'd be out having coffee someplace.
Exactly. Yes, we would. Yes, we would.
It's like we could go on forever. And there's a couple of things that I want to make sure that people understand. It's like you are a unique individual that, like, your pictures on the water and stuff when you go for hikes and stuff like that. I just love that. I just love that environment. I love that thought process. So talk a little bit about what you're doing and who you are helping right now. And then we'll work around that, because I think it's important work and you're doing a fabulous job. And I think it's important for people to know who you are.
Oh, thank you, Russ. So my goal is to lift up people during this pandemic and to be a light, and to not only be a light, but to share that light and then create this ripple effect that whatever I share with my network, that light touches them and then they go out and they keep spreading that light. That's what I'm working on right now.
I love that.
It's very important to me.
Well, and I know you're in a series right now where you're having conversations with people and different topics, and so right now there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of challenges, a lot of people are nervous and even upset, or they've lost their job, and hope has to be out there. We have to have some hope, and I love that you're sharing that hope and looking at people that are making a difference. And sometimes it's not necessarily what's happening to us, it's what's happening around us. And so the mental energy that we invest in other people, it has to go somewhere. It has to do something. So what have you seen in terms of people getting past their challenges and moving forward and helping other people lift up their spirits and in their life? What kind of experiences have you developed and come across?
Well, it comes down to empathy, right? I mean, you hear me talk about it every day, because we really don't know what's going on in someone's life unless they share it with us. And then when they share it with us, it's a gift, right? Mm-hmm. It's a gift. And it's important right now more than ever to be a human being with a heart. That is really, really crucial. Your one line you write somebody in a day could change their whole life. It could really make a difference if you're leaving a positive message to them. I know what's written to me in direct messages. I know what's sent to me on a personal level. And I take my responsibility on social media extremely serious. Very, very serious. So I'm hoping that people know that they're not alone. I'm hoping that they have you and me every single day to go, okay, Rach and Russ are here today to spread love and kindness. And that no matter, and it's not like you and I haven't been, had things happen in our lives. I've had serious stuff happen in my life. I mean, that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
So it's taking that strength that you and I have been through, holding on to it, knowing it happened for a reason, and now passing that physically or emotionally, passing that strength on to our followers. That's what they're doing right now.
It's it's amazing that you bring that up because and I've mentioned this before in different episodes, is the idea that we all have experiences in our world, and some experiences are not necessarily comfortable. Some of them are tragic, some of them are really challenging. you know uh the loss of home, family life, all of these things impact us in some way, shape, or form. And I think it's important for us to all realize that we're all going through something. And so you don't necessarily know what that something is. And like, smiles are free, and that is universal. I mean, if you give it away, you get two. It's like it's abundance, it's expansion, it's the idea of you can share and make an impact on somebody's life. And I think it's important for us to do what we can, little steps, baby steps, and it doesn't take much time. And even if you're not spiritual, you can still, if you're not religious, you can still be spiritual. I
Mm-hmm.
guess it's a better way of putting it. And you can actually have this idea that we are all connected in some way, shape, or form, whether it's by experiences, shared experiences, or if it's some of the things that we're doing in life or where we are in life. It's kids, family, parents, jobs. We all have something. There's always a thread. I always say, if you pull the thread long enough, you're going to find a connection.
And that's what we're doing, right? We're working very hard, Russ, to create a quilted love of kindness. And there are core people on this platform who are building this quilt with us, and to
Mm-hmm.
create that. And I'm using a quilt as a metaphor because we all know what it's like to be under a blanket and you're cuddled, you feel safe, you feel nurtured. So that's the kind of environment we want people to know, that they're safe. We want them to know that they're nurtured. We want them to know that they're loved. That's what they need to know right now.
Yeah, yeah. I, a couple of things that really, I think, surprised me, and it's just being positive. We've all known people that are not necessarily the most positive individuals in the world. And what I've been really focusing on the last number of years is the language that I use and the thoughts that are in my head and some of the things that I tell myself. Because if you change the way you speak and the way you change, and you change the way you feel about things, rather than saying something's negative, or I feel bad, or I feel this way or that way, I really think that it changes the way we act, it changes the way we live, it changes the way people show up in our lives, and the way we connect with people like you and I.
Mm.
And it's like, it doesn't take a lot to be positive. It does take a choice, though. So, what are some things that you've seen that have helped others become more positive? Because you're one that shares the positive things in the world, and it's like, let's see what's possible. Not let's it's like, let's imagine what could be happening. And so, what are some tips and some things that you've discovered along your journey that allow you to be more positive?
It was a conscious choice. I remember those moments. I had critical moments in my life, and I've had really bad things happen to me. And I remember like stepping into positivity. I remember physically doing it. I remember mentally doing it and making that choice. And it's a choice that I make every single day because I know the benefits of choosing a positive mindset over a negative mindset.
Mhm.
It's like leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
You and I can make that choice every single day. And I tell my network that get up, make the choice to have a positive mindset no matter what comes your way. And we both know, Russ, like life is not rainbows and unicorns. We're fully aware of that. But if you're making that choice to step into it and you're conscious that you're doing that, you will see the benefits of it. I can
Absolutely.
see those moments in my head. I can see them.
Yeah.
The easier route would have been, honestly, Russ, the easier route in some of those moments would have been like, I'm done. Like I can't, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. That would have been the easy way out.
Yeah.
And I chose not to do that.
Well, I'm glad.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
It's and I've had that experience in my life, where it's like you feel like that would be an easier choice and that would be something that is an option. And it's like you really have to those moments are struggle and you have to find something. And I think it all depends on hope. You know, you have to feel like there's something else that I'm meant to do because many times, I mean, statistically speaking, I shouldn't be here.
Neither
and
should I, Russ. Either should I.
Yeah, and so we are here. We are here for a reason, and we are here to help others around us and shine the light on that. So what are some other activities? Talk about your series that you're putting out. You got the uh, I think 4 episodes out that you're doing.
I've been doing this series. I'm doing this week or like right now.
Yeah, what is it that you're actively doing right now? Talk a little bit
I've,
about that.
I've just wanted my network to meet the people that are involved with the orphanage, Global Ministries, because they know I'm donating part of my book back to the orphanage.
Okay.
And it's to really explain the story behind the story and for them to understand. And I wanted them to hear from other people who have been to the orphanage like I have.
Hmm.
And they did an incredible job. They both did. One of them is one of the directors, for the foundation. And they're really special women. And their story is it's really powerful. They understand and when here talk about empathy, they understand how absolutely emotional it was for me to even discuss this publicly. It
Uh-huh.
was like, opening your heart and saying, this is what happened to me. This is the truth. This is very emotional. Because we put ourselves out there to be judged every single day. And I've been very blessed because my network doesn't function that way. And they're extremely supportive. They're very supportive. They're very empathetic towards me. And they're very loving.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And what I appreciate are all the pirates in the community here. Let's go back and share some of these pirates here. So Angie says, "Good morning, everyone."
Good morning, Angie.
And we're going in here, Kenyatta. Yes, Rachel
Love
Beck
you,
is
Kenyatta.
as official pirate on the pirate broadcast. Much love to you, friend. So, and then Jeff Young, we got Jeff Young in the house.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
And pirates, but fellow members of the Kind Club. Grateful to know you both. Namaste. Network and make all sorts of terrific energy. Thank you so much. And then Gabriel, Gabriel,
Gabriel, how are you? Much love to you.
love all of you guys. And then Angie says, spreading light is so important. Absolutely. Positively. Kenyatta says, good morning, Jeff and Angie. This is what I love, Rachel, is that everybody connects with everybody else and has relationships. It's building the kindness and the quilt that we're talking about.
It's a
So
perfect way to describe it, right? We want to
yeah,
go
it is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
That warm blanket of kindness flowing over us. Gabriel says, "Good morning, everyone. I love each and every one of you, incredible individuals. Being a pirate is special. We are all family and community."
Oh, love his words.
That's fantastic. Kenyatta Turner, hello there, ma'am. You're such a wonderful person, and I enjoy everything you share and create. And Kenyatta and I are working on a really cool project. Much love to both of you. Kenyatta says, Russ Johnson, Rachel Beck, two amazing community builders. Unite. Behavioral matters, behavioral superpowers. And then she's going on, and Gabriel, you're such a dear friend. Say the same about you. And then Kenyatta, good morning. Angie, good morning, Gabriel. And, Rachel, this is what you have the same effect. You love being a quilter. Absolutely, Angie. There's so many people out there that understand what it is that we do and why we do it. And either you get it or you try to get it. And I think there's a lot of kindness that's going on around us. And our challenge is, how do we present it and how do we engage other people? And you have a much larger network than I do. And so how do you go about and communicate and stay engaged and up to date and invest your time? Because some days it's challenging to keep up with everybody and share so much, and it's not always easy. So I want to ask you how you manage through that process.
Well, it comes down to this. It's so easy, Russ. It's attitude of gratitude versus entitlement. I'm very grateful every day for my network, and this will never change. So if my network is taking the time to engage with me and to be with me and to share with me, I'm going to respect them enough, as much as they respect me, to give back to them.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I love my network. They know that. I tell them every Friday when I sign up before the weekend, I say, I love you. It comes down to attitude of gratitude. It comes down to, are you making that time? You and I, we all know we both have the same 24 hours, and time gets brought up a lot. Right now is the time to be on social media. Right now is the time to market. Right now is to get yourself out there. Now is the time more than ever.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of people that are um, fear and scarcity based are really showing signs of wear and tear a lot more than the ones that are putting themselves out there. Because I, for one, I've been a remote worker for over a decade, and different times in my life I've done this as well. And I'm busier now than I have been in years. And it's just like things are showing up in my world and things are showing up and different conversations are taking place. And I have all the gratitude in the world for everything that comes out. And life is abundant. It's like you can't run out of things like this. And it's just when you put it out there and you express the kindness and gratitude and abundance and love, it always comes back tenfold. And it's just, and when you tell somebody that doesn't believe it, it's like you're an alien talking to them. It's like, yeah, I know it's counterintuitive. I know it feels counterintuitive. Like if you turn off what's in for me radio and then start giving it away and sharing things that are valuable, things turn up, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm very clear, Russ. Like I'm very clear for many reasons. My life is not about me, and it will never be about me. And this will never change. And if I can take people through this pandemic and lift them up and get them where they need to go, then I know that was part of my journey through this pandemic. Right? That's part of the journey, to lift everybody up.
Don't you get tingly when you see somebody succeed?
Nothing makes me happier. Oh my God.
Doesn't it?
Nothing makes me happier than seeing my network succeed, seeing my friends succeed, seeing my family succeed. Nothing makes. I'm the kind of person who gets more excited to give gifts on the holiday than to get them. That's more exciting to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can all celebrate each other's success. Your success doesn't take away from my success, and vice versa.
No. No.
Women can support women on this platform, and we can stand behind each other, and we can support each other.
Yeah.
It's possible. I don't, Russ, I can say this from the bottom of my heart. I don't compete with anybody else, and I don't compare myself to
Yeah.
anybody else. I said literally stay in my lane, do what I have to do for my goals and for my dreams. And that's a huge part of it.
Yeah. How did you discover your, I want to call it like your gifts or your, how did you discover that that was something that you were born to do? You were intent, that was what you're here for. I mean, did it come naturally, or has it always been that way? Or is it because you've been a teacher, life gives you these experiences for a reason. And so how did you discover that this was your mission in life?
Someone pointed out to me through a conversation. I always want, I have to do work that's meaningful, right? That's really important to me. Like I have to do something that's going to give back to the world. That's why I was a teacher. That's why I was a photographer. I was able to donate and help many charities through my work.
Mm-hmm.
I've almost died 3 times in my life. And someone did, for part of her research, she interviewed me over a series to understand that. And so I had the conversation with my friend after the third time I almost died. And she
Uh-huh.
looked at me and she said, "You're done." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "This is it. It's the rule of threes. You've almost died 3 times." And she's like, "Think about that, Rach." And she said, "Now go do everything that you were supposed and meant to do in your life."
Mm-hmm.
It was so powerful to hear this from
Wow.
someone that I deeply, deeply admire. And someone 20 years ago told me, she had a conversation with me too. And it was a 2 sentence conversation. She just said, she just looked at me and she goes, "Don't be here in 20 years. Be where you're supposed to be." And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it took me years to like understand what she was talking about. I was like, what does she mean? And then
Yeah.
my friend who said, she goes, "You're done. Go live your life. Do what you're supposed to do. It's not going to happen again." She's like, "You had your 3 brushes with death. You appreciate life. I appreciate life every single day.
Yeah.
You
Every
know,
day's a gift.
every day is definitely a gift."
Yeah. That's amazing. I I I cherish all my experiences, and I've had a broad range of experiences, with work and life and everything that goes along with that. And people say, well, like I've lived in different places in the country, and people say, "What's your favorite?" It's like I have a favorite all for different reasons. It's like I don't really have that one thing, but it's always, wherever I am, I find and discover what I enjoy about it. What kind of joy can I get from this experience, even if it's a bad experience? And like yourself, it's like there's times in my life where I can actually go back to and say, "Wow, that is that was a moment in my life that I made a decision to uh, choose life and joy over the alternative." And when you make that choice, it changes who you are. It changes who you become, because the path that you're traveling on is more much more positive one than had you taken the other direction. So it just and I think there's a lot of people that don't give it deep enough thought and appreciate the things that they have around them. And so if I can encourage anyone to think about how much gratitude they can have with the smallest things, the simplest things. Um, you know, Running water. It's like simple life things. We are so gifted. We are so blessed in so many ways that, I mean, just this conversation here. We met on LinkedIn. We had a conversation. We built communication going back and forth. And next thing you know, we're on a live stream broadcast. and it's
I
amazing.
love the message. I love the messages you put out into the world. I absolutely love them. I'm behind you 100%, Russ. This is
I'm
never,
behind you too.
this is never ever going to change. But you're right. It comes down to gratitude, right?
Yeah,
Um, and that's something that will never ever change. I mean,
yeah,
it's something that's never. I have many things that I'm grateful for. I'm like very clear about that, and it's not something that I ever forget. And I'll always come from a place of gratitude.
yeah,
I've been around the world. I've seen things as a photographer that I can't unsee that have changed me forever. I've gone into some of the hardest places in America documenting stuff. So I'm fully aware of what goes on. I've seen it. Some of the photos I've taken have taken me weeks to process. And I did it to tell the stories
mhm.
because people they don't want to see it, but it exists. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And the happiest person I met in the world, who you would love her smile, by the way, right? Like, she has more. Her story is so powerful, and she changed me forever. Just taking her photo. The woman is blind, deaf, and has leprosy, and I met her. And I
Oh,
was at a leper colony. I was documenting. I was documenting the work they were doing there, and I was there for another reason. And she was and I had to ask the director. I said, "How is she so happy? She's blind, deaf, and leprosy."
yeah.
And I had tears when I was taking her photo, and she was holding my face to see, like, figure out who I was because she was blind. And she said, "Rachel, she was homeless, and we took her in, and she's grateful to have a home." And right there, and I can't begin to tell you how remote this area was that I was at, in the middle of the world. I learned my lesson on happiness, gratitude, and I've been raised to be a grateful person. That's something my parents instilled in me at a very young age.
Hmm.
So, but there in the middle, and Russ, her smile was huge. It was huge. And can you imagine being blind, deaf, and having leprosy, and you're still smiling?
Yeah,
That's huge.
that is huge.
She gets up and they said, "Is she always happy?" And she goes, "Yeah, she's happy every single day." It's like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a mindset. What kind of mindset does she have to make that choice with everything she has going against her in life?
yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I just encourage everyone around me to think about what is possible. Imagine the possibilities, you know, and the opportunities. And it's really a mental challenge at times because you have to think beyond what you can imagine sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it's like you have to expand your mind to think, okay, what if possible, fill in the blanks. And you could say, well, why not me? Somebody else could do it. I could do it too. And then you have to decide, am I willing to do it? Because that's the biggest challenge. Is like, what am I going to have to sacrifice? Because 24 hours in a day is only 24 hours in a day. And you have to decide, okay, what's my priority? What do I focus my time and attention on? And there have been many times in my life, and I'm sure that you can understand this, is like you were working so hard on one thing that you missed out on other things. You know, it's like relationships, or spending time with your kids, or doing things in life that you want to do. Time goes by regardless of what you're doing. So find a little joy in what you're doing right now. Enjoy the moment. And that becomes a priority for me now. So
It's a conscious choice.
yeah,
Here's a big thing, Russ. I'm really clear on my priorities. This is never going to change. Like
yeah,
this is never ever ever going to change.
I love that.
Yeah, I know what matters to me. I know what if so, like if someone says, like, if one of my best friends says, "Rach, I need you right now," I'm very clear on that. I'm
Yeah,
very clear on that.
well, that's what I love about you. It's consistency. It's being consistent and knowing what you want.
Yeah.
A lot of people struggle with that. So anytime you can help somebody identify what their gifts are and what they can do is like a good thing. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So before we wrap up here, Rachel, I want to find out, tell us quickly about the book and how it's doing and how we can support you and where we can find you. Because if you're not connected to Rachel, reach out, follow her on LinkedIn, and, drop her note, say, I'm a pirate, and tell her that Russ sent you.
I'm Russ's friend. I'm Russ's friend. So the book came out in 2018, and I was doing the book tour. Mm-hmm. And we just did, because we were in a group of authors, we were in the book expo last May. And what they did is they moved in Manhattan, but obviously everything became virtual. So it's really important right now. And I was supposed to be touring up and down the coast this summer. Obviously that didn't happen. But you have to adapt and pivot right now so fast. And as an author, that's what I've been doing. So it's about doing interviews, doing the podcast. I can't go in. I'm also a public speaker. So I can't go in and speak to the audience and speak to the readers. So this is how I do it. This is how I communicate. This is how I communicate with them. It opens the virtual world right now is a necessity. It's a necessity for any company or anything you're doing. And the more time that you put into the virtual world, the more you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
The more you're going to get out of it.
It's an investment, right?
It's an investment. Yeah. Yeah. So my book's on Amazon, and the whole goal with the book, Russ, and someone gave me the idea of the book. Yeah. It's to motivate and inspire people.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal of it. It's sharing everything I've been through in my life. And guess what? I'm standing today.
Yeah.
I have causes that are deep, deep in my heart that I'm very passionate about right now. Yeah. And that's not going to change. And I'm going to use my voice when it comes to things like racism, women's rights. I have certain core things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you, Rachel, so much for being here and sharing just a casual conversation as a pirate in the pirate community.
Thank you.
I love these episodes. They set the tone of my day, and they set my pace and everything else that goes on for the rest of the day. So I have all the gratitude in the world for you being here and our friendship and community. So thank you so much. There's a couple of people here. I want to say there's Suki. So perspective on gratitude is love. Thank you so much. Then Nick Dorsey.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Russ Johns. Fantastic. I guess being banned from Facebook isn't a big deal. Isn't that big of a deal comparatively? Angie had her Facebook. It's gone. So I feel bad. Nick Gerson says, Rachel. And then go back. Wendy says, permission to imagine the possibility is a wonderful idea. So I know we got to wrap it up, and you got plenty to do. You got people to help, places to support.
I will always support you, Russ. This will never change.
Thank you. Likewise, Rachel. Thank you. We got our own 2-person fan club here. So.
Well, we're gonna build that quilt. I mean, there's people in the comment section I know who are involved in that. Keep building that quilt. We'll come back in a month, see how we're doing. And, keep an eye on it and keep doing it.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone, so much. Like I said, if you're not connected, follow Rachel. Get involved and engage in a little bit of kindness, because kindness is cool. Smiles are free. And you enjoy the day. Take care, everyone. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.